It's about 11:30, and Jess and I are getting ready to head out to Kansas. Welcome to American Roots.
We're in Flagstaff. We're headed to the property. It is about 1:30 in the morning. We're making pretty good time, and there's no traffic for Memorial Day weekend. So it's a little chilly though. I'm glad I wore sweats. Nothing like brewing coffee in the back of the truck with the Energizer battery. Road trip coffee. So we get back to the tiny house after being gone. Not only is everything super green, but there's like dead wasps all over the inside of the tiny house. I don't see a nest. They were just like at the door. This is so weird. They're just dead everywhere. So I don't know. There's only a dead fly on the sink, but look, just random dead wasps. Weird. Huh. But everything is very green. There's a couple things that we brought. We want to try to see if we can use a refrigerator. So we brought our tiny refrigerator, and my mom had purchased a mobile charging unit that like you can use solar, kind of like the Energizer, but it's called an Anker, something like that, Anker. So that's what we're doing right now, is getting that out so that we can test it out. It's been a long drive. We're just trying to get settled in. So Joe pulled the truck up a little closer. The grass is so tall. The grass is so tall. We are here this morning. We just got up, got dressed, made some coffee, and it rained really hard last night. And I said to Joe, what is the first thing we need to get done? And he's like, let's start organizing. But there is so much growth from all the rain that we've gotten that really, you might be able to hear him weed eating right now. You just absolutely have to start making a path. The grass is so tall. I'm glad I left my boots here last night, but I'm so scared that there's wasps inside them. I know, I shook them out. They should be fine, but wasps in the house, that was weird. We have a lot to do today. First of all, we have to mow. There's so much we have to get done with the mowing, but our goal is to try to get the foundation laid. That is our big goal this trip. So what I'm working on right now is just trying to make sure we have everything organized and cleaned up. So we got here last night. We had a 20-hour drive. We were exhausted, and we just unloaded everything. There was a tornado warning, and so we were just getting everything inside and just kind of hunkered down for the night. So this morning I have a lot of organizing to get done. So that's what I'm working on. I have like our little makeshift bathroom where we have like our hand sink that has like a foot pump and you pour water into it, and then I have it draining into a bucket or a jug. And then I just set up like a little makeshift shelf, wood chips and garbage can and toilet. So just something to make it kind of feel like a bathroom right now. Nothing is permanent, but it definitely helps to have some kind of organization. But this is the biggest thing we're excited about. We are going to try really hard to get this going. We brought our tiny refrigerator and my magnet. We're gonna charge it with the solar, and I looked inside and there was already frost on the inside of it. So it's cooling. I could put food in it right now. I think I'm going to actually. The refrigerator is working surprisingly well. It's not taking too much electricity. It's about 101 watts that it's pulling, and it seems like it's not draining the battery, but it's fully sunny out. So we're getting lots of solar collection happening. So maybe this will work. I'm gonna try to get our food in the refrigerator because it needs to be chilly. So this ice chest was bought at a yard sale for a couple bucks. I bought one at Costco for like 40 and the ice was already melted. This has had it in the same amount of time and there's still a ton of ice. Something to be said about things that were just made quality.
Beautiful day out here in Kansas. I left the keys in Arizona to the Polaris, and I gotta get the generator, which is all the way in the back. So I'm gonna hotwire it, pull it out.
We packed the generator inside of the shipping container so we couldn't get it out if we couldn't get the Polaris out. And I have the refrigerator going. So I put the tiny fridge in the house. It looks fantastic. It fits really well and it fits all my junk. Everything that I have looks really good. And it's taking about 100 watts to keep it running. But if we have to turn it off, if I have everything nice and cold and I shut it off and I don't open it, then it should buy me a little bit more time before I have to hook it back up to the solar generator. Our goal is to try to see how self-sufficient we can become. So we have a lot of needs, like our systems. When you come from the city, it's like, oh my gosh, we don't even have a dishwasher. Well, you got to wash them by hand. So it's trying to figure out, okay, we need a sink. We don't have running water. What exactly is it that we're doing to try to make sure that those systems are in place? Hygiene is important, super important, especially when you're cooking and you're like doing things that you're gonna like ingest. Being off grid is fine, but you need to make sure you have a way to take care of those systems. Look at how green it is outside. Everything is so beautifully green. So the refrigerator was one way that we could definitely bring some kind of a system, because ice is like $5 a bag. And when it gets warm out, you kind of go through like a bag a day. And when you're trying to keep meat safe and at a right temperature so you don't get sick and you want to be here for a prolonged amount of time, like we were going to the grocery store every other day, we were buying ice all the time. So this is definitely helping us to not feel like we have to rush off. And I can keep food a little bit longer. I mean, if it's frozen and it's in there and something happens and the electricity goes off, it would sit just fine until I could get it back on electricity in a few hours. And it just looks so cute. I just think it fits so good. Just looks so like it's meant to be there. So this is how we're charging. I have the battery, this one on it, It doesn't flicker like it's showing on the screen. I just think the screen doesn't like it. But it is pulling in 81 watts and it's using 103 and 104 to charge the refrigerator. But there's 31% left. And then Joe hung the Anchor solar panels up so that they could get charging. And let's see what this one looks like. Let's see if I can get a good shot. So it's pulling in 97 watts and it's 77% charged. That one's sitting a little bit more like directly in the sun. And as long as the clouds start to dissipate, let's look over here. There's a break in them a little bit. Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll stay sunny. It is quite warm. Beautifully green. It's always hard when you come back because you're like, there's so much to do. And you just have to kind of sit there and stare for a minute because you kind of got to get your bearings. Like you're moving in again, right? We cleaned everything up so that there wasn't like rodents living in anything and there wasn't any attraction to like be in there when we weren't here. And the only thing we found was wasps. There was no like rodent droppings or anything like that. So we definitely just have to figure out like, okay, what do we have to do next? So that's kind of half the battle, but it feels good to be here. We slept really good. We needed to get some sleep. I was cranky pants big time. So I'm glad that we have that where we can come here and just get a good night's rest, right? Oh, well, I'm going to get started on stuff for the day. I will take the camera along and bring you guys with me. But until next time, I hope that our journey is maybe making you think about what you're doing, and maybe it will encourage you to buy dirt, not diamonds. We're praying blessings on you, and we hope to see you next time. We'll see you soon.